Thank you for coming. This is a project that's been on the horizon for some years now, and David, to his credit, has brought it together. Without any further words, I'd ask you to welcome what's going to happen. David is going to say some nice words. There'll be an unveiling. A couple of leading, outstanding citizens have given their time to be here. And after that, there'll be some more drinks and nibbles. There'll be some hot food coming out as soon as the speech is finished. So I hope you can stay with us for a while afterwards. But without any further ado, I'd like to, I don't think, introduce, you all know him, but the president of Bundanoon History Group, David Brennan.
First of all, I'd like to do an acknowledgement for country. So I acknowledge the traditional owners of this continent, their grief at loss of country, languages and culture, and their struggle for survival on their own terms. And especially the Gundangurra peoples, traditional land owners of the land where we are today. Now someone's saying, turn it up a bit, is that better? Yeah. Okay, right. Well, hello everyone, and thanks for turning out to support us on what's a pretty cold Southern Highlands day. There are a few apologies from some people who wanted to come and couldn't be here, and because they've told us their apologies, I'll just let you know who they are. So we've got Mel Morris, principal of the school, Viv May and Les Mahon from the council, Peter Rocker, Linda Emery and Pat Guy. So they're formal apologies. And from the history group, we've got Megan Peter Nurse and Margie Thomas. So for many years in Bundanoon, we've benefited from the council's community grant scheme. And the history group was especially pleased to get a 5,000 grant from the scheme to help fund this heritage trail. We started planning the heritage trail in 2018, which seems a pretty long time ago now. 3 years in the making, before the bushfires, before COVID-19, before Rio Tinto showed a complete disregard for history and blasted a 46,000-year-old Aboriginal site to smithereens in the Yukon Gorge. So, in an ever-changing 24/7 world, history and an understanding of our past is important to all of us. And these last 3 years, we've all been confronted with plenty of changes and challenges. Now a few words about this Bundanoon Heritage Trail. First and foremost, it's a gift from the Bundanoon History Group to the whole community, for everyone, locals and visitors to enjoy. And it's been a major project for the History Group. It's cost around $9,000 and several hundred hours of volunteers' time to deliver. So it's not an insignificant amount. We're proud that it's finished, but it's only the start, and we hope to have more signs to come. The latest is the sign in the Nancy Kingsbury Park, generously funded by the Bundanoon Garden Club. Now, no doubt, many of you have already seen the signs because we put them up just before Easter. There are 9 of them, and with such a rich history in Bundanoon, it was hard to decide what to include and what to leave out. Each sign has its own special story to tell about the people and the early development of Bundanoon. They range from post offices to police stations, 2 churches, a park and a nightclub. I wonder how many of you know that we had a raunchy French night spot here in the 50s called Pierre's over the road there. And it went on to the wee hours in the morning. And what's now the Thai restaurant was once the biggest bike hire shop in the Southern Hemisphere. And at the back of Altona, down the road there, our first police station, we've still got the lockup where Constable White used to detain the local crims overnight. So it takes about 20 minutes to walk around the signs, from the Pottery down to the end of Anzac Parade and the top of Church Street. There's also a printed guide. And if you really love your history, each sign has got a QR code where you can download an audio guide and even more amazing historical facts and pictures to your phone. So do please follow the trail and have fun. And this whole area around here, around the railway station, is in fact a heritage conservation area. So discover a little bit more of Bundanoon's history and what an amazing place that we all live in. Finally, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the people who helped to turn this heritage trail into a reality. Helen Clark for creating such a beautiful and distinctive sign that can also be used for all the future signs. Beryl Seckington for handling the complex technical side and writing the historical content for your phones. Ralph Clark for designing the printed guide. Rachel Ford and Ian Greaves at Council for advice and support on our DA application. And because these signs are going to be around for a few years to come, it was important to get our historical facts right. And we're very grateful to Graham Tooth, Les Rundle, our archive team, Ian Smith, Carol Cosgrove, Marianne Ward, Pat Guy, who helped to check the content, and to Trish Arbib for many, many hours of proofreading. Lastly, we had to install the signs in exactly the right place. We couldn't afford to disrupt a water main or electricity cable. So, thanks to Peter Golding and Don Gray for managing this and many other details. All that remains now is to declare the Bundanoon Heritage Trail officially open and unveil the last sign here on the old goods shed. And to do that, we're honoured to have Chris and Erica Peterson, long-time Bundy residents who need no introduction to all of you here. So Chris and Erica, come and do your stuff.
Not sure how we're going to get it on. Lift along the top as well. Another really good we need you.
Well done, Chris and Erica. Anyone's really cold.
Thank you. I was really surprised, and it's a great honour to be asked to do this. Obviously, I must be one of the oldest people here.
He's still not old enough to join the history group.
Well, in retirement I will. Erica, her parents moved to Bundanoon 60 odd years ago, and they bought the old Gastoff, which is the pill factory, and ran a restaurant and a guest house there, and then built the motel across the road. We've been married for 50 years, and happily. And I must mention my mum. My mum was she was a Bundanoon resident all her life. So she died last year, and she was 99 and 4 months. Didn't quite make it, but she was a keen part of the history group. Yeah, and we're just very honoured to be able to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. So now it's just the hot food. Hopefully we can all get warm. And sorry we haven't got any punch for you on a day like today. Yeah. So thank you all for coming.